So Donald Trump and Elon Musk took over the news cycle last night, with Musk not interviewing but more having a conversation with Donald Trump for about 2 hours live on X, which is something that one side called a fantastic call, showing Donald Trump's side when he's not being adversarial. Though at the same time, you had other people saying it was 2 hours of the dumbest bitches you know saying, exactly. And the reality of the situation, it's up to you. It's like we always say on the show, perception is reality. And as far as what actually happened in the conversation, it started with Donald Trump telling the story of the assassination attempt on his life at the Pennsylvania rally on July 13th. Then, after a lot of guiding from Elon Musk, they spent a lot of time talking about immigration.
These are rough people. These are people that are in jail for murder and all sorts of things, and they're releasing them into our country.
Though there, you had people noting that there's a mountain of research that's shown that there's no link between immigration and higher levels of crime. Which on that note, that was just one of the false claims that he made during the call, with him continuing with false claims about immigration, but also global warming and sea levels, inflation, the legitimacy of the 2020 election, taxes, and the list goes on. But then beyond that, Donald Trump shared that one of the first things that he would do was close up the Department of Education, which, hey, wouldn't you know it, is also a policy outlined in Project 2025. You also had Musk pitching a role for himself in a potential future Trump administration, with Musk calling for a government commission to ensure the taxpayer money is spent effectively and saying,
and I'd be happy to help out on such a commission.
I'd love it
if it were formed.
Well, you're the greatest cutter. I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, you want to quit? They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay, you're all gone. You're all gone.
Which then, funny enough, led to the United Auto Workers Union filing an unfair labor practice charge against Trump and Musk, arguing that they illegally intimidated workers with those statements. But then really, I mean, beyond that, there's obviously more we could talk about here, but Trump really didn't say anything that unexpected. It was kind of like if you've ever actually watched a full Trump rally, he just kind of goes on and on. It was just that Elon Musk was also there. Just yeah, nervous, laughing, stammering away. Though also, I will say, there's been a lot of conversation about other aspects of this call. I mean, one thing that got a lot of people asking questions was the fact that Donald Trump sometimes sounded like he had a lisp or was slurring in his speech.
He hasn't done an interview since this whole scam started. And what I'm going to do, one of the first acts, and this is where I need an Elon Musk. I need somebody that has a lot of strength and courage and smarts. I want to close up Department of Education.
And you had the BBC recording more than 20,000 posts with the term slurring during the conversation. With that, you had Trump's spokesperson telling people that it must just be their hearing. Though I will say, I don't think that he was necessarily slurring or had a lisp. I think it's very possible that it was an audio glitch or a compression issue, because there are clips of Donald Trump speaking in the room, not through X audio, and he sounds fine there. Also, though, speaking of glitches, the other big thing was the fact the whole conversation was delayed by more than 40 minutes due to technical difficulties. And there, about 18 minutes in, you had Musk claiming that the event was under a massive DDoS or denial of service attack, which is basically when someone floods a website with traffic in order to overwhelm it and knock it offline. But I will say, as of recording, it is still not clear that this was an actual attack at all. Right? I mean, the site has had issues in the past, and that's not counting when they did that live stream event for Ron DeSantis. But then, with all that said, on the other side of this, you had the Harris campaign commenting on everything, the bromance, the technical issues, the actual content of the interview, writing in a statement. Donald Trump's extremism and dangerous Project 2025 agenda is a feature, not a glitch of his campaign, which was on full display for those unlucky enough to listen in tonight during whatever that was on X.com. And going on to say, Trump's entire campaign is in service of people like Elon Musk and himself, self-obsessed rich guys who will sell out the middle class and who cannot run a live stream in the year 2024. And then as far as, other reactions we've seen, you again had some people saying it is good to see Trump in this light, right? A number of conservatives saying, hey, it's good to have something that they can point their moderate friends to of, hey, this is what Donald Trump's doing when he's not fighting somebody. But then also at the same time, you had political commentators like Hassan Piker saying it was actually not in Trump's favor to take such a softball interview.
I think one thing that people fail to consider is that Trump actually performs really well in adversarial interviews because he gets bitchy. And when it's a glaze sesh, and I've listened to so many Trump glaze sessions with Sean Hannity where he sucks them, like he gives him that good suck, it's very boring. It comes across as like a very boring, low energy back and forth.
But with all that said, the last thing I'll touch on is Trump's return to X. I mean, since having his account reinstated by Musk, the last time Trump posted on the platform was when he shared his mugshot from the Georgia election subversion case. But now what we've seen is that in the past 24 hours, he's posted several times. And interestingly, his return to X may be actually devaluing his own social media platform, with us seeing the stock of Trump Media and Technology Group, which owns Truth Social, dropping after last night, with it specifically falling more than 3% when the market opened this morning, which is the lowest it's been in months. But also there, I will say, shares have already been trending downwards, which makes sense because really none of the numbers for the company have ever been good. And just last week, the company reported a $16 million loss for the second quarter. But hey, whether you listened to any or all of the call last night, I'd love to know your thoughts here.